yeah. God is good.
And talk a little bit like then after meeting and stuff, what was dating like? You know, like what was dating and kind of like where did God kind of play into this dating realm? Because I know like I'm guessing you guys were kind of in the boat where like you guys were like dating for a good intention, right? Because I think a lot of times there's multiple ways of dating, right? Dating just to date, dating just to have fun, dating just so. I'm guessing you guys are more of a dating for intentful dating, right? For like trying to truly find that partner. So what was kind of that like, and where did God kind of like play into that and with you guys?
It was such a beautiful relationship for me. I think it was very God-centered dating him, and I felt like we were able to really share what was important to us and get to know each other in a lot of fun ways because we were in a lot of young adult things together. So I got to see him, you know, from a distance, like volunteering. I got to see him with my friends. I got to see his friends. It was very, it felt very natural and easy in that sense. And it was very intentional, I would say. But yeah, we had like a interesting breakup in the middle of our relationship.
Oh.
Which I don't know if you want to say anything more about the dating part.
No, yeah. I think that's a good point that like it was, you know, sometimes when people meet someone, you know, maybe they're part of a faith community, but then they meet someone and then they kind of start like not being a part of the same events. That didn't really happen for us because we were all kind of in the same circle. So in some ways, like our faith community kept growing, our, you know, her, you know, girl friendships, my, you know, guy friendships, they kept growing kind of on the side too. So we weren't like, I don't say we were like too interdependent or anything on each other during that time, which was, I think that was bared a lot of fruit.
And if you don't mind me asking, it's like the temporary breakup and stuff like that. When you like, when did you guys come back? Jenna went on she went on the Camino. Maybe you want to share about that.
Yeah, so I went on like this 35-day pilgrimage, which is in Spain. Yeah. You haven't heard of the Camino de Santiago, where you walk from France to Spain. Anyways, so it was a long journey, and I went with my friend, and I told Sunoh the day that we went on our first date, I said, I'm doing this. I'm quitting my job. Are you okay with this? This is in like 9 months. He was like, that's so cool because I've done it too. So we bonded over this. I went on my pilgrimage to Spain, and there I had an encounter with God, and it wrecked my soul. And I felt like the only answer I could give God was to give what was most precious to me. Because I said, you love me so much. What can I give you? And in that moment, I felt like I was being called to religious life. So I said, well, Sunoh's the most precious thing to me right now. So I came back, and I was pretty determined. I cut my hair in Spain. Couldn't even talk to the hairstylist. I was like this, because I just felt like I need to like chop my hair, come back, break up with him, and discern religious life. So that was the reason for our breakup.
And do you guys think after that breakup and with like, you know, maybe discerning out of religious life, or I'm not sure how far you got into that, like did that really kind of make your relationship stronger, do you think, afterwards?
Yeah, it was 6 months. And, you know, compared to all, you know, my previous breakups, this one was one where it was very upsetting, but at the same time, I didn't want to compete against God.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of peace of just, you know, if God willed this and he has the best plan for me, then I can just let it go and see what's next in store for me. And I remember I just felt a lot of peace that God was going to have someone better for me, you know, and it was just new and, you know, Jenna 6 months later after discernment, just having a lot of peace and, about her calling so.
Nice. And if you don't mind me asking, who did you discern with? Like which order or?
So I didn't formally like go to live in a convent, but I did a lot of spiritual direction, and I went on a retreat with the Franciscan sisters in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I really wanted an order with a habit, so I was looking more at those orders, and was interested in the Dominican sisters too in Michigan. So, and then also there's a beautiful order called the Handmaids of New Ulm in Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
And they have a vibrant young women community. So, I just kind of did a lot of retreats and quieted my life down, just totally quieted my life. And yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so I guess once you guys came back and moving towards like engagement and marriage. What was kind of like that moment where you guys felt like, hey, like, this was it? Like, did you guys talk about it beforehand? You guys have a plan and everything? Or it's kind of like, hey, like it was a surprise for the engagement? Or was it like, at what moment did you guys know? Like for you guys?
You know, I think we were being cautious about like being too presumptuous about, you know, whether or not we were going to be engaged or married. So we didn't really talk about it a lot. Mm-hmm. It was like, there was never this language of like, oh, we're going to live together, we're going to get married. And so, but when we got back together, I did a lot of like soul searching and discerning, because in my mind, I was like, okay, if I'm getting back together with her after 6 months and I've had this time alone, maybe more removed from it, then this is more serious. And so when we got back together, I was planning to propose within months, which is essentially what we got back together in April. I was ready in June, and then I proposed in August on my birthday. Oh, today.
Oh, wow.
2017.
What a beautiful day.
So
wow.
It was 8 years ago. But I was going to propose to her sooner, but the one delay was I really wanted to get her father's blessing.
Okay.
And I had only just met them, I was kind of just starting that relationship again because we had taken a break. And so he wanted a little bit more time to get to know me. So we had weekly phone calls. And then it was a couple of weeks before my birthday when he said, okay, you've got my blessing. And I said, okay, great. Well, I've got this date. And I had everything planned out at that point. But
that's awesome. I think that's important too. Like, I think, at least for the man, for the men's side, it's really just getting the blessing from the parents. I know sometimes it's certain situations a little more difficult, but like I think that's an important thing too. Like really like having that fruitful like relationship with in-laws, and that's kind of the really good way to start off in the right foot. So yeah, I just see that like a lot of my friends' marriages and even mine, like it's so fruitful because of that, and you can be really a part of the family and whatnot. That's beautiful. Okay, and then so engagement wise, and so like during engagement wise, did you guys like really take to discerning like marriage, like during that time when he asked you and stuff, like you said yes, and like what was kind of like discernment? Look, what did that look like for you guys?
Yeah, we viewed it as a second discernment stage. Mm-hmm. So although we were joyful in planning this beautiful wedding, I remember the marriage prep was really important to us, and it was such a gift. We got an amazing mentor couple. We went to an engagement retreat. We met with our priest. And I do remember there was this moment in the Basilica parking lot where I had family members that had been divorced, mm-hmm. and for certain reasons. And I thought one of these reasons was kind of the trump card. I was like, well, if this happens, and I remember Sunoh challenged me and said, no, that's not even a reason. And he says, if you think this is the reason, we need to reconsider. And we just like went and prayed and had some time to really discern. It gave me time to really look in my heart and be like, what does the catechism say? What is this commitment? Mm-hmm. What are you going to say?
No, that's it. I think it's just sort of that it's that it's what is it? Indissolvable. I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know the exact term, but it's like, what does that really mean? And it means there's no ifs or buts or anything like that. It's and so we wanted to actually in this engagement period make that commitment then and there. Like, are you willing to stay in the marriage, for better or for worse? And I think we took maybe it was like a week break or something. Mm-hmm. We kind of did our own individual silent retreat kind of. I even, I was talking to her dad at the time too, and I told him, "Yep, we're like discerning this seriously, so we might have to call it off if mm-hmm. we're not all aligned there." Mm-hmm. So yeah, but what we came away with that was that every couple discerning marriage during engagement should ask themselves that question: mm-hmm. Will you stay with this person for for every reason?
Yeah, and I think that's why, to be honest, when Heidi and I were going through that too, it's. I think one of the things that the church does so right, and if you take it seriously, the discerning of marriage, it really brings up a lot of questions where you never really thought of. And it's kind of sad today too, is where the divorce rates are so high amongst couples, and just the breaking of families happens on a whim, And I think it's because oftentimes we don't ask those hard hitting questions, and we really don't discern and take time and really root ourselves in Christ. And so it's beautiful to hear you guys are doing that. And for us, it was so fruitful. We did the same thing. Just really asking ourselves the hard questions and really kind of diving deep into it. And I think you guys are did even more, like really like truly took time away from each other to actually discern things. So that's truly beautiful. And so, and just from engagement stuff, and I know during that time too, there's a lot of planning, and planning a wedding is not fun. God bless my wife. So I was going through a fire academy during the whole time. So she was trying to like do all this stuff, and I was like, I was just so tired. I was zonked after a full day of work, and I couldn't imagine like, you know, planning a wedding. It's very stressful. Like, did planning the wedding kind of like affect you guys at all? Like, did it like kind of like make it a little more difficult for a lot of things, or like discerning stuff like that?
Absolutely. It felt like a distraction,
Yeah.
to be honest. All of a sudden, things that you didn't care about, either you or somebody cares about. So, yeah, I think it was a challenge, but it was a good, I also say that engagement is a good, I don't know, I think maybe it's turning it into something beautiful, but it's a hard thing that you have to work together as a couple.
Yeah.
And so when you work together, it's like good preparation. Anything can be used for good. Mm-hmm. Even though I think you would say some of the distraction stuff of marriage, like the wedding, the party planning, is not very fruitful. But